In today's video, we're going to go over 5 tactile switches, a lot of which are pretty underrated. The thing is, when you think of a heavy switch, you usually think it's super tactile, right? Well, that's not the case with these kale plums. They're heavy, but the tactile bump isn't huge. It's a really unique sensation that's hard to describe, but it's definitely got a satisfying heft to it that you won't find in many other switches. One thing I really like about the switches is how hard it is to bottom out. If you're a heavy typist, you know that it can be annoying when you're constantly bottoming out your keys. But with the plums, you don't have to worry about that. It takes a bit of effort to fully depress the keys, which can be a really satisfying feeling for some people. Now let's talk about the sound profile. It's pretty neutral, but let's do a quick sound test so you can hear for yourself. Overall, if you're looking for a different switch from the usual suspects, then I definitely recommend the plums. The combination of weight, tactility, and the unique typing experience make these switches stand out from the crowd. Now, if you're looking for a switch with heftiness, but also a big bump, then the box royals are definitely the way to go. These switches are like an intense workout for your fingers. The actuation force on the box royals is a whopping 70 grams, much higher than your average tactile switch. This means you will need to apply more force to get the switch to register, which can be really satisfying for heavy typists. And let's talk about the tactile bump. It's sharp and pronounced, which makes for a really satisfying typing experience. But let's not forget about the sound profile. Let's do a quick sound test so you can hear for yourself. Overall, if you're someone who wants a switch that's really hefty and tactile, the box royals are definitely worth considering. They're not for everyone, but for those who appreciate a switch that really works out your fingers, the box royal is a great choice. On the other side of the weight spectrum, we have the matchas. To me though, these look closer to a lime Gatorade than a matcha based drink, but that's okay. Looks aside, the matchas are a really gentle switch. They have an actuation force of just 40 grams and a bottom out force of 45 grams. This makes it lighter than 97% of switches out there. This makes them a great choice for those who prefer a lighter touch when typing, or for anyone who needs to type for long periods of time without straining their fingers. Despite their lightness, these switches still offer satisfying tactile feedback. The bump isn't as pronounced as it is on other switches, but it's still noticeable and enjoyable to type on. Overall, I would say that matchas are a great choice for work or school, especially if you need to type for extended periods of time. They won't fatigue your fingers like some of the heavier switches we just talked about, but the tactile feedback is still present, and most importantly, it's enjoyable. But if you need something quiet, like if you're working in an office, or maybe you have a roommate and you've got those late night gaming sessions, sound, or the lack of it, becomes more important. And for my pick for the best silent tactile switch, I have to go with the silent bluish white. What sets these silent bluish whites apart is that they have built-in dampeners that reduce the sound of the switch when bottoming out, making them much quieter than other tactile switches. In terms of the sound, I hear gentle thuds like raindrops falling against the window. Take a listen for yourself. Overall, the silent bluish whites are a great choice if you're someone who wants tactile feedback, but also needs that silent operation. Now, the 4 switches discussed up till now are all great, but if I had to make a pick for the best overall tactile, that would be none other than the baby kangaroos. They're just really crisp, really resonant, and it's really marbly. They have a unique feel to them that's really satisfying to type on. It's got a double stage spring, so it's going to feel extra bouncy. And let's not forget about the tactile bump. It's really satisfying and snappy without being too overwhelming. And the sound profile is just fantastic. In part due to its long pole stem, it's really resonant, and I've been really digging that sound profile lately. Overall, I'm really impressed with the baby kangaroos. They're definitely a switch worth considering that will add a lot of flavor to your typing experience. It's always hard to make a blanket generalization since everybody's tastes are so unique, but if I had to choose a sort of Goldilocks tactile switch, it'd definitely be the baby kangaroos. But these are just my recommendations. I have all the switches we talked about today linked below the like button, so you can try them yourself at home before committing to any given option. Now, for a deep dive into tactile switches to really discover what it is that you might like and what it is that you might not like as much, check out this video here. But what's your favorite tactile switch? Let us know in the comments down below. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a nice day.